Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. My name's Emily if you're new here. I have not done a vlog in maybe 5 weeks. It has been so long since I have just sat down and did like a little bit of an update. I have just been in the biggest slump, I suppose. I have started maybe 5 books over the last week. Nothing is sticking. I'm just not intrigued. I'm not immersed in any of the stories that I've picked up. I've tried a thriller, I've tried a dark romance, I've tried a romance, I've tried a fantasy romance, I've tried a fantasy. So I'm just running out of options, you know? I have been kind of feeling the lit fic and unhinged characters vibe, so I will be reading an unhinged book, and I'm hoping that's going to get me out of my slump because I love unhinged, unreliable characters. As well as that, I have been reading a couple of tales on the Brothers Grimm, the entire fairy tale Grimm series. So anywho, that's my little update with that. I haven't read a lot. Not much has been read. Currently the 4th of January and I have not read a book or finished a book. And so I will be starting My Year of Rest and Relaxation by Atessa Moshfegh. I have a gin and soda. This is the vibe for tonight. I'm really excited actually. I have heard really mixed things about Atessa Moshfegh's novels. They're very unhinged and I am feeling that, and this was on my physical TBR. I'm trying to get through this big stack of books in 2024. That is a new reading goal of mine, is to read all of my physical books. Well, I mean, it's not going to happen, not all of them, but I'm prioritizing not buying any books in 2024 or one every blue moon, because I need to save money this year. Trying to move out and buy a house, trying to go on a holiday to Japan. It's just all happening. I need to save my money for as much money as possible. So buying books, I absolutely love it, and it cures my sadness sometimes. In just buying a book, it makes everything so much better. But I'm being good to myself. I have the library, I have Libby, I have my new Kindle, and I have downloaded a heap of new books off the Stuff Your Kindle Day. I downloaded so many books, so my Kindle is set. But this book, this is going to be my first physical read of 2024. Hopefully I enjoy it and I keep reading it, because your girl is in a slump. She's mood slumpy. I have no idea what I'm feeling. I've tried so many different genres. Nothing is calling to me right now. Nothing interests me on this stack of my TBR cart besides this book and a couple others, all unhinged books. I put a poll up. It was My Year Rest and Relaxation, The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde, which I also have on my TBR, and I also have Cleopatra and Frankenstein by Coco Melors, and I've heard that is unhinged too. So maybe I could read the 3 books depending how fast I read this book in this vlog. We will see how we go. To summarize this book, this lady right here, she decides that she's not going to go to work, she's not going to do anything for a whole year, and she basically just lays in bed and doesn't do anything with her life for the full year. So this is what the synopsis says. Young, thin, pretty, a recent Columbia graduate, an apartment on the Upper East Side of Manhattan paid for her by her inheritance. Our narrator has many of the advantages of life, but there is a vacuum at the heart of things, and it isn't just the loss of her parents or the way her Wall Street boyfriend treats her, or her pseudo-domestic, I have no idea how to pronounce that word. It's the year 2000, and in the world's greatest city, I glitter with wealth and possibility. What could be so terribly wrong? What could be? So I'm really excited to dive into this. I have rambled for 5 minutes now, and I apologize for the backdrop. I still have my Christmas decorations up. I just have been so immersed in my writing that I haven't done anything else besides writing, and I think that's another reason why I've been in a slump, is because I'm trying to finish my own first draft of a book, and it has taken all of my free time up. But we're getting to the end. I'm taking a break tonight, but we are getting to the end, and I'm so excited to finally print off the first manuscript and start editing. I just can't wait. So I'm going to get straight into this. I'm going to drink my little gin that I have, and I will check back in with you all when I have a little bit of an update for how I'm feeling with this book. I apologize for this distraction. I crocheted this and I'm absolutely obsessed, and it's in my car and it's so cute. It's got a little strawberry and a daisy. I haven't done a crochet project in so long, but so I thought I would give you an update on my year of rest and relaxation by Otesha Mossberg. I am 116 pages, so I've just reached part 4, and genuinely I am eating this up. I haven't had a lot of time to read, but every time I pick this book up, I just get so enthralled back into the story. I honestly don't even know. I don't think we have been told the character's name in this book. Like, I think we are honestly just being told this story from the second person. This woman is retelling her past about her time sleeping, and it is extremely depressing, loathing, but our main character really just makes you feel like I feel when I read this book, and this the feelings that she had towards her parents and her life, and how she does not care about anything. It is so unhinged, and this character is so unlikable, manipulative, but is broken at the same time. Boyfriend, who has been on and off with her for many years, is disgusting, but she doesn't know the right way into a relationship. Like, she loves this man who treats her like absolute trash, and that's just how she wants to live her life. Like, she chooses to live her life that way, and honestly, she's continuously drugged up, is always taking something to make her drowsy, to make her incomprehensible. Like, she doesn't remember some parts of her days, or she dazes into such a drug manic that she doesn't remember things like leaving the house. And honestly, like, just being told in her perspective is really interesting. Like, I have not been inside someone's head like this, and it's fascinating to me. Like, she has no actual reasoning behind why she wants to sleep all the time. Like, there's no reasoning. I have legitimately highlighted so many lines in this book. Like, I haven't actually tabbed it, but I have been lining paragraphs after paragraph. Like, her writing is phenomenal. Like, her writing reminds me the similar vibes of Mona Ward, like, just unhinged, no idea why this is even happening, but I'm obsessed. This is one quote from the character that I highlighted because I thought, wow, I was finally doing something that really mattered. Sleep felt productive. Something was getting sorted out. I knew in my heart this was perhaps the only thing my heart knew back then, that when I'd sleep enough, I'd be okay. I'd been renewed, reborn. I would be a whole new person. So she was not happy with her life. She just wanted to sleep it off, to restart fresh, but literally so far all she cares about is sleeping. And she has a friend, her name is Reva, and she continuously comes back to her apartment, and our main character does not care about Reva in the way that she assumes that she does, like Reva thinks that she does. Reva loves our main character, but our main character treats her like trash. When Reva's mother had cancer, and our main character didn't care. Like, Reva would say, my mum's like getting worse, and she's like, spare me the shit, like, sort of thing. And then this is another one from like more or less the beginning of the book. And yet I was aware of the nothingness. I was awake in the sleep. Somehow I felt good, almost happy. I don't know. This woman is so unhinged. Literally, I'm sweating as well in this car. It's so hot in here, but I just wanted to come out here. I haven't had a car chat in a while. I am just really enjoying it. I've heard a lot of mixed things about Otesha Mossberg's writing. Her other novels, like Eileen and her Lapona one, Lapona, disgusting, grotesque, may I go on. But I am really liking her writing style. I'm liking the unhinged vibes. I'm liking that I don't have to think much about this. Like, I'm literally just getting told a story, and I'm liking it a lot. So that is my update on my year of rest and relaxation. I will hopefully be reading more of this towards the end of the week. It's been a few days since I last updated this vlog, but
I'm hoping to read more. And then speaking of other things, speaking of other reads, I have been listening to via audiobook A Certain Hunger by Chelsea Summers, and this audiobook has now changed specifically for Audible. It is an Audible original. So our main character Dorothy is telling us her memoir from prison, and we're listening to Dorothy go on about her life, living the high life, living pretty much as a psychopath. She is a psychopath, and even admitted in her memoir that she's a psychopath. Like, she knows she's a psychopath. And obviously Dorothy is in prison for eating men, becoming a cannibal, and that is what the story is about. Literally Dorothy having a lot of sex and eating a lot of men, literally finds a certain hunger, certain acquired taste, becoming a cannibal, starts killing her lovers, but then like wants to kill them again because she just can't get over how good they taste. And I'm loving it. I'm loving how unhinged Dorothy is. The way that Dorothy is portrayed as a character, it is very dramatized, and literally she does not think that she's in the wrong here. She thinks that everyone who is not a cannibal needs to wake up, and that we should all be eating humans, and that it's an acquired taste that everyone would love. And I'm eating it up. I'm loving this unhinged woman, feminine rage vibes. Like, I'm loving the feminine rage. That is what we get from Dorothy. 100% is feminine rage, loads of sex, and loads of death. But so far, I'm about 50% into A Certain Hunger, and like I said, I'm absolutely loving it. It is very dark and unhinged, but I'm liking it a lot. So anyways, that's how I'm feeling with the books at the moment. I'm pretty much just reading unhinged women, unhinged female main characters, and I am loving it because I am currently in the first rounds of edits for my novel, which is a fantasy with a subplot of romance. It's a dark fantasy subplot of romance, and those two genres for me have not been hitting because I have literally been writing, and now I'm editing said genres, and I just can't get my head around reading them right now because my brain is absolutely fried and I cannot go through with world building right now. So that's why I have not picked up a fantasy book in a while, but that's fine. Honestly, like, it's totally okay with me, and I'm happy that I have found two really good, enjoyable reads that I'm liking a lot. I'm absolutely rambling in this vlog. I'm just literally just catching you all up on what's going on. I am going to Japan in February. I leave on the 3rd of Feb, and I will get back into Australia on the 27th. So I'm pretty much gone for the whole month, and I will be pre-filming. I have already started pre-filming videos to have scheduled for when I'm away. So I won't be like doing actual bookish videos while I'm away, but I will be vlogging my Japan trip. That is the plan. I don't know if I'm going to split up into like 2 vlogs, separate vlogs, depending on how much footage I get, but we are going to a lot of places, so I think that I might have to split the vlog into 2 when I do start vlogging, so it's not one massive vlog, because I feel like I'm going to get a lot of content. But I'm so freaking excited. I cannot wait to go away. It is literally like 3 weeks away until I'm on holidays, and I'm so excited. I haven't been on a holiday since 2022, so I'm really excited, honestly. But yes, that is that. I am just gonna go now. Do not mind this sore on my face. I can't preface it enough. It is really annoying me personally, but I just had a chiropractic appointment, but now I'm going into the library to return some books, and I'm going to have a look around to see if they have any releases that I might be intrigued in picking up. So I'm going to bring you guys along with me. So the library was a success. I picked up 2 books. The first book I picked up was Property with Shoes on the Money, and this is a ultimate first guide for first home buyers. And my partner and I are buying a house
this year, which will be our first home. So I thought this would be really good to have a read through. I also really like Victoria Devine. I find her podcast to be really informative, so I'm glad that I found that. And then I found this collection of short stories. This is The Beast You Are by Paul Tremblay. I have heard of this author's name before. I don't know where I've seen this author's name or like what they have written, but I'm really excited to read this. Stephen King blurred the back. It's meant to be very grotesque, unsettling, psychological, with like horror elements. There's multiple short stories. I didn't look on Goodreads or anything like that. The cover intrigued me straight away. I also did finish A Certain Hunger by Chelsea Summers, so I will give you a little update of how I felt about that book once I'm home. So I have you propped on a wine bottle because I have a glass of wine. I'm currently editing my first draft and I'm sitting on the table, like no distractions, but I wanted to just give an update on what I'm currently doing. So that's what I'm currently doing. Is I have not done any reading over the last 3 days because of the edit. And let me tell you, the edit, I have this much to edit. So most of it, I mean, that's half because I have put like single pieces of like paper in between each page. So if I have any notes or scenes I want to change, I will write it on the paper, which makes it easier for me. So I'm not like double crossing myself with red pen over certain lines. It works for me. So anyways, but I did finish listening to A Certain Hunger by Chelsea Summers yesterday at work, and I ended up rating it a 4 out of 5 stars. It was so unhinged. Like, I have never read a book like that, and I really enjoyed it. I liked the feminine rage aspect, even how Dorothy did not find herself as a guilty person. Like, she blamed other people for her own decisions in life that were not their own doing. It was her own doing that caused these things to happen. But she basically, she was a cannibal and she killed her lovers, and she ended up murdering 5 people, I think, over. It started in the early 2000s and she was convicted in 2014, I'm pretty sure. So it's been over it was over like a 14-year time, because she met like multiple people along the way. She fell in love with somebody along her shenanigans in life and took a break from killing people in for 3 years, or didn't even think about that lifestyle. And then when said person wanted to marry her, she basically just said, I can't be that person. I have more to live for. And so that's what she did. She had more to live for, apparently. But she told her story from prison, and she was writing a memoir from prison. And so the interesting thing is, this is a spoiler, so if you don't want to listen, I'll put a little timestamp to continue the vlog, but if you can hear Raven, don't mind that. So basically, towards the end of the book, she murdered another person that she had slept with, but it was not intentional. She had no idea why she killed him, and it wasn't her style of murdering people. Usually she played it really particular in her kills. She would either make up a story before doing so, or coming up with a plan on how she wanted to sever said part of body, things like that. And so this person that she killed on accident kind of was her downfall, and she got caught out. And so basically, her friend who testified for her in court said that she had no recollection of a conversation that they supposedly had, that Dorothy ended up confessing everything that she had done in her life to her one night when she was drunk, her best friend at the time. And she knew that she was being targeted by the police, and the police tapped her phone, I'm pretty sure. And basically, Dorothy thought that her friend had ratted her out to the cops when she didn't. So Dorothy decided to go and end her life so she could live hers. And luckily, there was a alarm that was tripped in her apartment when Dorothy was trying to break into it. The police came, arrested her because she tried to cut off her head, mate. And her friend wasn't even in the bed when Dorothy assumed she basically did herself in. It was her own fault. But over the time of listening to Dorothy and her feminine rage, like she was so enraged, like feminist, women deserve more. The men that she would kill were wealthy. They basically were at her demise. Like they loved and adored and desired her at all, forever, like all times. And she loved one of the men that she killed, but she would never like admit it because she was with him for like a long time. So like I don't know, but it was hot as well. Like I don't know if I should feel that way about the book, but she was, yeah, I don't know, I was just so enthralled in the story, and I'm so enthralled in her story because the audiobook that I listened to was an Audible like exclusive, where it was basically like we were being told the story as readers, like in audiobook type style, like if you were listening to this, blah blah blah. So I really enjoyed that aspect, but it was very interesting. And what intrigues me and what I like about fiction, horror fiction, is that I can sit through and listen to a book with such grotesque themes, and yet in real life circumstances, in true crime, I just cannot sit through that sort of thing. Like if I was listening to that podcast and it was about true events, I wouldn't have been able to get through that audiobook. I wouldn't have been able to get through that podcast. Like cannibalism is a whole other topic, and it's just really fucked up. Like that's all I have to say. So I really enjoyed it. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars, and that's all I read. So anyways, that was my little review of A Certain Hunger. If you're into horror, it is definitely reads like a lit fic, but very grotesque themes. Like it is horror, but a memoir as of such. You're basically being told somebody's life story, which is what we were told. We were told second life story. So I'm actually currently editing this video, so if the lighting is shit, do not mind that. But I just wanted to give my final update on my year of rest and relaxation by Artesha Mosfeg, which I have the physical book right here, and I gave it 5 stars. I genuinely found this book oddly comforting. I have a lot of thoughts on it. I really emphasized with the main character. Personally, for me, like while I was reading this, I have been experiencing burnout, and I have been sick all week and just burnt out with everything, preparing for a holiday, writing a book, editing a book, etc, etc. Like I have never experienced burnout like this before because I'm just so exhausted. I am just really exhausted, and I cannot wait until my holiday. But reading our protagonist and her way of living, deciding that she's going to sleep for a year and shut off from literally reality, like wanting to just completely cut off reality and sleep for a year. There was nothing wrong in a way with this woman. She had a life, she had a job, she has money, she had a home, a roof under her head, she had a friend, and yet she chose to do this, to back herself away from reality, which I really condone, because sometimes it's okay to feel that way. Sometimes it's okay to want to sleep, to want to do nothing, just to sit around and mope around and do absolutely nothing. Yes, it's okay to feel that way. If you want to do nothing, it's fine. Did I agree with the way that this main character treated other people? Absolutely not. She had her own trauma of her own, dealing with the loss of her parents, both her father and her mother, after a very short amount of time, and dealing with a friendship that she didn't even know that she wanted, I suppose. She said that she loved Reva, and Reva in this book very much tried to get our protagonist to thrive in her 20s, when all our main character wanted to do was not thrive in her 20s. She wanted to sleep, because all she genuinely cared about was sleeping. And I just found this book comforting. Is that weird to say? I don't know if anyone else has read this book. Not much happens in this book at all. We literally just follow our protagonist telling us how she went through this year of relaxation because she slept majority of the year. So that's just my take on it, I suppose. Like, I feel like I really just enjoyed it because it was comforting for my burnout, because I didn't want to do anything, and reading about somebody who felt the same way as me, who has just really burnt out and hasn't wanted to make videos or read or anything. Like, all I want to do is lay on the couch and watch TV, which if you told me that 3 weeks ago, I wouldn't be doing that, because I don't watch a lot of TV. Like, I take pride in my hobbies, and I really thrive on creating content, and I haven't been wanting to do that. So reading about a character who doesn't want to do anything, isn't motivated by anything in her life, I kind of really just felt that. So that's just really how I felt about a book. I have no other words to say besides I will be reading more of Attention Atmospheric writing, because a literal masterpiece, like a depressive literal masterpiece in my opinion. I freaking loved my year of rest and relaxation. So that is all I have to say. Don't mind the TV in the background. I'm watching The Vampire Diaries. I'm currently editing this vlog right now. But thank you all so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps my channel grow. And I'll see you on my next one. Bye!